Have you ever wanted to learn how to make a delicious tiramisu at home? I can't share every trade secret with you that we have here at Commellini Estate, but I can show you a couple of things to make the process a little bit easier for you when you're at home. This is my general setup to make our little individual portioned tiramisus that we do for our events here at Commellini, such as our cooking classes or the supper clubs that we occasionally do during our winter season. Here in front of you are a couple of ingredients that we feature in our tiramisu. All tiramisu has mascarpone. We buy it in these really big tubs because we make a lot at a time. I've got some nice Dutch processed cocoa here. This is our coffee syrup that we use. It has fresh brewed coffee, a little bit of sugar, and some liqueur. A lot of people do a coffee liqueur like Kahlua, but we use Frangelico, this really lovely hazelnut liqueur, which just adds a little extra dimension to the flavor. And then we have our tiramisu cream. I'm gonna put this tiramisu cream base into a piping bag to make my life a little bit easier when it comes to building them. The reason why I wanted to show you guys this particular dish is because it happens to be how I came to be at Commellini's in the very first place. My grandma brought me to a cooking class here at Commellini Estate when we were still offering tiramisu classes. She's an incredible person and has a huge history with the owners of Commellini's, who are incredibly personable, and she pulled me along in here when I first moved into Spokane. I was going to culinary school and she was like, you know what? Let's start the cooking classes early. Let's do this thing. Come to Commellini's. I love these people. I love the food here. Let's do it together. And we did. And it's a really great memory and was in fact how I even learned that Commellini Estate existed. It was a good start and contains a lot of fond memories here. And now I'm here all of the time. So I've dusted the bottom of the jars with cocoa powder, and it's just gonna make a mess, y'all. It's okay. It happens. And then we pipe a bottom layer of the cream into these jars right here, really nice and evenly. You don't actually have to move the piping bag that much. You want to get it nice and full and then just make a little circle to even it out. And then we'll take these lady fingers, and because they obviously don't quite fit, we have to break these into thirds to fit in our jars. And then dip them into our coffee syrup. And we try to do like a 2-second dunk is what we call it, to keep everything consistent. And we'll add a little more cocoa powder and a little more cream to top. It's actually much more simple than you'd think, especially with the piping bag. That really helps. And keeping everything as cold as possible so that it sets really stiffly. And then we'll dust it with one last layer of cocoa powder until it's nice and coated. And that is your basic tiramisu. We tend to try to elevate it just a tiny bit by taking big chunks of chocolate and use them to make these little chocolate shavings, which we will use as a garnish. Ta-da!